welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time no talk, but we're gonna jump straight into it today. I don't know who needs to hear this, but fellas, you need to be layering your fragrances too. And I don't just mean like mixing two fragrances. Obviously, we all know how to layer fragrance. It's not something that is significant only to women, but one of my favorite layering tools that really extends the longevity of your fragrance, enhances the overall performance, is a body oil. I always say that moisturized skin is literally like a glue for your fragrance. When you just put a fragrance onto dry skin, it literally dissipates into your pores. I mean, pores are literally holes. They're going to absorb. So when you add a thick layer of some sort of moisture, it creates a barrier for that fragrance to then sit on top and project off of. There are a ton of different brands that I really love that are like oils, body oils, perfume oils, but one in particular that I want to highlight today is one that I have talked about before, but I've only mentioned it for the women, and that is Brown Sugar Babe. I feel like a lot of men don't even know that they actually make fragrances for him. So today I want to give you some of the best suggestions for any man looking to kind of build his perfume oil, body oil collection. It's also a really great starting point for really expensive fragrances that you enjoy but don't want to splurge on, because these are inspired by some of your favorite niche and designer fragrances. And the performance on these is out of this world. It is a spot-on depiction of the fragrances that they're inspired by, if not better. Trust me, my Brown Sugar Babe collection is disgusting. Like I literally have so many bottles. I'll attach like a video somewhere so you can see, like, my collection is actually insane. And there is not a day where I ever put a fragrance on without putting some sort of body oil as a base first. So whether you'd like to try these out to just enhance a fragrance that you already own, or you want it to actually substitute a fragrance, this is really good for people who have very sensitive skin. I have a friend personally who has eczema, and she literally has the most sensitive skin. Like, everything will irritate her, and she's obsessed with Brown Sugar Babe because it's made with like all of these natural essential oils. These scents are comprised of avocado oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil, vitamin E oil. So they're extremely safe, extremely nourishing to the skin, while also smelling freaking fantastic. So out of all of the Brown Sugar Babe oils that I have, and I do have quite a few that are made specifically for like men, obviously wear whatever the heck you want, whether they're for men, for women, whatever. But these 4 or 5 fragrances, I say 5 because one of the perfume oils is a different scent and one of them is a scent that's already one of the body oils. So these are like my 5 picks from Brown Sugar Babe if I could pick my favorite ones for a man to have in his collection. So let's get into it. First we have Wild Card, which is easily one of their best sellers, and this one I actually have in an 8-ounce bottle because I completely finished my 4-ounce bottle. And here's the comparison just so you can see the sizes. The majority of the oils that I have from them are in the 4-ounce bottle, and this is a really good size. Like, it takes me quite a bit of time to run through this size, but I definitely have finished quite a few of these. And they do offer some smaller sizes as well if you don't want to just commit to the 4-ounce bottle. If you'd like to start smaller, there is that option as well. Depends on the scent though, because I think some of them have different size options and some of them might only have a select few, so you'll just have to shop the website and see what they have. But of course, everything's going to be linked down below. So like I said, this is one of their best sellers. This one is called Wild Card, and it is inspired by Baccarat Rouge 540. On the website, when you hover over each of the oils, it'll show you the fragrance that it's inspired by. So if I'm not mistaken, I think this one is actually inspired by the Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. This is literally so spot on. It smells exactly like Baccarat. The performance on this is amazing. I literally got this for my best friend Bianca because her signature scent is Her by Burberry, which was actually created by Francis Kurkdjian. So it has like a slightly Baccarat DNA to it, but it's more of like a strawberry scent. So out of the Brown Sugar Babe fragrances that I had smelled, I'm like, this would be the best for her to layer with her Burberry Her. So I got her a bottle of this, and there was a day, she lives up in Palm Beach, I live further down south, so sometimes if she doesn't feel like driving, she'll take like the Bright Line and come down here, and I'll pick her up from the station and we'll hang out. This girl put this oil on all the way up in Palm Beach, got on a train, came down, I picked her up, and my entire car was filled with this scent. I was like, you have on Baccarat? And I really had to stop and think for a second. I'm like, Zoe, you know good and well she does not own Baccarat, but it didn't even click to me that she still had this oil. So I was like, I smell Baccarat. And she was like, oh girl, I didn't even have time to put a perfume on. I just put on some of that oil you got me. This is the oil. So when I say the performance on this is beast mode, it was so good and so potent that I literally thought she had Baccarat on. And not only does that say a lot in terms of how it compares to Baccarat, but also to the performance and the projection and the sillage it leaves, because all it was an oil. It wasn't even an actual spray. It's not like she put it all over her clothes and everything. Like, no, just the oil. Literally 10 out of 10. And as we know, Baccarat is like the best fragrance to layer with virtually anything. I love Baccarat on a man layered with Creed Aventus, and it literally just works so well with so many fragrances. So I feel like this is a staple for a man to have, because you can literally put this oil on and put whatever kind of cologne you like to on top, and it is always going to smell superb. The next fragrance that I want to highlight that I think is a staple for a man to have, especially if he is looking to start his body oil collection and really enhance his layering game, is Level 13. This is also by Brown Sugar Babe, of course. And look at the dent that I have in this, okay? This fragrance is inspired by Another 13 by Le Labo. And this is seriously one of my favorite fragrances, especially because I am such a lover of like fresh and clean fragrances. This is musky, molecular, your skin but better, but also sweet. And this is very androgynous, super unisex. It works so well for both a man and a woman, just like Baccarat. But the price tag on Le Labo fragrances is absurd to me. Like, if you think I'm joking, look at the dent that I have in this. And then I even have a dupe for it called Another 14 by Montaigne. Again, look at the dent. So any version of Another 13, I drown myself in it. I love this fragrance. And to me, it just smells so sexy and fresh. This is another one that is going to be very mutable and versatile for a lot of different scent combinations, especially like a nice fresh and clean scent. Like, I could see this layered with the Gentle Fluidity Silver. It is literally just so good. And again, it is spot on. It smells exactly like the fragrance. Back in February, both of my brothers came down here to visit me, and I told them, do not bring any fragrances with you. Like, do not insult me like that. I have this huge collection here. You do not need to bring any fragrances. I have a ton of men's fragrances as well. So every day when my brothers would go into the shower, I'd pick out a couple oils, lay them out on the counter for them, give them some cologne options. And my brother Dorian wore this oil, and I'm pretty sure he put, no, you know what? I know for a fact he put on Musk Therapy by Initio on top of this. When I say this oil outperformed an Initio fragrance, I'm not kidding. I remember that day so vividly. We went to Sawgrass Mall and we were walking around shopping for hours and hours because my brother was trying to get these Versace slides. And so he's going to the Versace store, he's going to Saks, he's going to all these different places trying to find the exact pair that he wants. So he had us walking around all day, but it was his birthday. So me and my other brother were being patient. But the sillage on this oil, the sillage, honey. Every time my brother moved an inch, there was like a whiff that would go past, and I would smell this over and over all day long. Like, I just kept smelling this. Anytime he breathed, like any sudden movement, I could smell this fragrance. And I knew that it was the oil because this is such a distinct smell. And if you know anything about Musk Therapy by Initio, it's like a bright, refreshing, kind of citrusy, musky scent. So to me, when I smell Musk Therapy, I get mostly like this kind of sunshine and mandarin vibe, and that is not this. I was smelling this freaking oil and it was so good. I also have the perfume oil version of Level 13, which is inspired by Another 13. And just to point out the differences between the perfume oil and the body oil, this one is definitely more thick, even in texture, compared to the body oil. So this one definitely will like stain your clothes as opposed to the body oil. Usually if I apply the body oil on after getting out of the shower, and I at least give it like a 5 to 7 minute window after applying, giving it time to kind of like absorb to my skin, because the body oil does turn into more of like a dry oil where it moisturizes but it's not greasy. This is going to be a little bit more greasy in texture. It's definitely more concentrated. So this is a great substitution for those who are just people who prefer an oil as opposed to a fragrance, or someone that is just looking for a more affordable way to really have long lasting, high performing fragrances. But again, Smells just like the fragrance, and it is literally 10 out of 10. Like, I cannot hype it up enough. It is powerful enough to be worn on its own, and I really, really, really do not mean to sound redundant, but these are just so well done. So imagine if you don't actually need a fragrance on top of it, imagine how much better it's going to perform, or how much better it's going to enhance whatever fragrance you wear if you layer it. Thank me later. Now, this next one I actually only have in the perfume oil. I think it's because they were like sold out of the body oil at the time, where they just didn't have it in stock. But this is a showstopper for sure. This one is called Secret Santal Garden, and this is inspired by Original Santal by Creed, which we know is a super sexy, fresh and spicy scent. Definitely has that Santal vibe going on to it, obviously, as the name alludes. But this is literally so good, so rich, and as you know, Creed fragrances are far from affordable. So this literally allows you to have that amazing performance, probably even outperforming your Creed fragrance for a fraction of the cost, because with all of this inflation and these price increases with these brands, like, Creed fragrances are now up to about $500. Absolutely ridiculous, making these the perfect alternative without having to compromise on quality. For the next one, we have a fragrance that they call Him. And this is literally one of my favorites. Like, this one has to be like top 2 out of Brown Sugar Babe scents for him. This one is inspired by Bleu de Chanel, which we know is a classic. It's almost impossible not to enjoy this fragrance. It also is very mutable and works with so many different fragrance combos because it is that traditional blue kind of scent. As we know, Bleu de Chanel is this citrusy, fresh, aromatic, woody fragrance that is so sexy, so sophisticated. It works year round. It's perfect for any season. So this is an absolute staple. I feel like every man needs this one in particular. And the one I'm going to show you guys next is like my number 1 favorite from them. Like, have to have it. But this is like right behind it. This is definitely in the number 2 spot. And I am obsessed. Like, you know, I would never lead you astray. Again, the performance is amazing, the longevity, the projection. It's literally equivalent to wearing your favorite fragrances. Like, I can't hype it up enough. And last but certainly not least, don't play with it. This is Obsidian Rain, and this is inspired by the Uomo Born in Roma Valentino fragrance for men. This is literally so good. This is sex appeal in a bottle. My friend Brandy was over the other day and she smelled this and she was like, can't say it because it's on YouTube, but you do the math, WTF. Very emphasized, very impressed. She was like, what the like, this is heat. This is fire. Like, you don't need a cologne with this. You don't need a cologne with any of them, but like, damn. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Wow. That is a man. Oh my goodness. As you know, the original Valentino fragrance is described as a woody, ozonic, aromatic, kind of aquatic, warm and spicy fragrance. The actual cologne has like notes of sea salt and mineral notes and violet, sage, ginger, vetiver, woody notes. I mean, it is literally, it just smells like a handsome man. Like, oh, I swear. This alone, sex appeal in a bottle. Like, that's literally the only way I can describe it. I will want to lick a man's skin clean off with this on. Like, if he puts this on and we're headed out for date night, I'm gonna be like, go ahead and lock that door. We're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Wow. I would love to know, out of all of the ones I mentioned today, which one most intrigues you? Which one would you like to try out? If you have tried any of the Brown Sugar Babe oils out, please let me know. I'm actually really interested to see if any men have tried it, because I have talked about this brand before here on my YouTube channel as well as on TikTok, but I've only made, I think I did make one video on TikTok that was like focused on the men's scents, but I never have here on YouTube. And I'm like, I have a much bigger male audience on here, and I know I have been neglecting you guys. So I was like, this is literally a hidden gem that I feel you guys need to know about. Okay, like, y'all know when it comes to my recommendations, it is never about money. It is never about me trying to sell you a product. Like, This is just genuine enjoyment, like things that I enjoy and I love to smell on a man. I love to share it with my community here, and I know that you guys tend to appreciate it, so it's literally a win-win for both of us. But I would love to hear you guys' feedback if you have tried any of the Brown Sugar Babe oils, or if you plan to. Of course, I will have everything linked down below, and of course I have a discount code for you guys if you would like to try them out. And trust me, I don't make any money from this again. So this is not me trying to just sell y'all something, and this is literally just an I love you from me to you. But I thoroughly hope that you guys enjoyed the fragrances. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you guys as always, and I will see you next time.